Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome. My name's Lorne Risley, host of the Halcyon Show. How you doing? Running late, but sounding great. I said I'd go at midday. Funny story. Couldn't be asked. I woke up this morning in one of those sorts of, as you can probably tell by my visage, I woke up at sort of 9 o'clock, did some housework, got the washing machine going, got the dishwasher going, tidied up, had my breakfast sort of, didn't have a cup of coffee, and then sat back down. The sat became a lie, and then the lie became a nap, and that nap lasted till about 12:30. So I decided to hop out of bed, grab a shower, go to the shop quick, and debated whether or not I even wanted to do this today because I felt not the sharpest. But now we have some Daddy Make Wake Go Juice, and we have ourselves some entertainment. It is Sheffield versus Heretic. Now, this is an interesting battle for a number of reasons, chief among which this was one of the battles that I discovered soon after kind of getting on board the Sheffield Marlow train. And it's one of those battles that, for me, I mentioned this in the tweet about it yesterday. I truly believe it's one of the most quotable battles of all time. Because of that insane second round from Shuffle. And I think it goes without saying at this point that Shuffle T has now cultivated a bit of a reputation for being just such a clever fucker when it comes to devising these sorts of very comedy-esque, comedy sketch-like schemes and rounds and bars. It's worth pointing out, though, that one of the things I noticed watching this battle back in prep yesterday, yeah, you'll have to forgive me, I do watch them back to give myself at least a little tidbit on some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about, because I'm not the best at reacting off the fly, is Heretic actually did something very similar in the third, but unfortunately just it completely got slept on. So we're going to talk about that when we come to it. A couple of pieces of housekeeping, first of all. So this battle is live, as you'd expect, right now on Don't Flop. I would heartily encourage you to go watch the original video if you haven't seen it already. Again, it's Shuffle T versus Heretic. It took place in 2016, if memory serves. Now, unlike my video yesterday, where I decided to only record reactions to one round each, and it was the first round for both guys, and I did it using the internet-based service that, what am I using? OBS utilizes. I decided to do two things. Number one, because it was causing a lot of problems with the delay and then the sort of the upload, I've reformatted it now, so it should look a lot cleaner, sound a lot cleaner, and run a lot cleaner. And the reason for that is because of the magic of piracy. I've just downloaded the video in HD to run on my PC, so there shouldn't be any lag, so there shouldn't be anything interfering with the feed as we go. Secondly, reached out to everyone involved. Shuffle, Harry J. Robinson, aka Heretic. Yesterday I reached out to Tony and to Biz and to Prem and to Don't Flop to just kind of get, not permission, but sort of like, hey guys, listen, I'm going to be doing this. I hope it's okay because I am going to be reacting to the content. I'm not quite sure what the rules are when it comes to that sort of stuff, so it's one of those situations where I just wanted to make sure if there was any provisos or anything anyone wanted to add and they had the opportunity to do so. Everyone, barring Don't Flop, replied. So I've made an executive decision because Don't Flop is run by an asshat who probably has told them, hey, fuck that guy, don't respond to him. Fair enough. I'm going to react to the whole thing today. The video itself, I think, is... God, where is it? It's 23 minutes long, so we might be able to whiz through this quite quickly, to be honest with you. Depends on really what we encounter along the way. But yeah, yesterday I just thought a round each was about fair. You know, it means that you don't have any reason not to go watch the original. However, because Don't Flop and the unique way that they choose to do business by antagonizing and vilifying their own fucking fan base because of the whims and wants of one fucking asshole at the top of the chain, as opposed to Prem, who, while I might have my differences with them, at least continue to do business like fucking adults, I'm going to react to the whole thing. So, strap in. This is... originally, I think this aired in 2016 in... I did make a note of it somewhere. It's in the description, so I should probably point out the original video, the link to it, the description to it, And all of the socials of everyone involved are in the description of this video. If you like what you see while I'm reacting, then please, by all means, go watch the original video, give it a support, and give it some analytics and all that good jazz. So I think we should segue now to the main guest part. There we go, lovely. And I think we should go. Should we go? Should we go? I think we should go. Let's go. Give him props. This intro is still pretty cool. And how, by the way, let's just stop immediately. How weird is that? How weird is that to see not only a thin that's how long ago this is. No disrespect. We all get fat and thin. I've gotten fat and thin 6 times in my life. But just the fact that, yeah, thin, so it takes you back. And then you've got Briggsy. You've got Briggsy wearing a Don't Flop versus everyone hoodie. Oh, how times have changed. Anyways, quick pan around. I didn't see many people. I see Juan over Briggsy over the shoulder there. I know O'Shea's here on this one. My verse is in the background somewhere. There's the boy Heretic. Danny Jack behind him as well. Look how young Heretic looks as well. Speaking of how young they look. One thing. Okay. Battle rap promoters of the world. Can I ask you a question? You spend weeks, if not months, promoting the cards, getting everyone hyped, all the rest of it, right? Why do you ad-lib the introductions? Why do you leave it to the last? Why do you just kind of stand there and go, okay, so who are you two? Okay, right. So yeah, coming in on the left-hand side, this guy's mad skilled. Oh, man, he's crazy. It's shuffled. Like, Bruce Buffer and Michael Buffer write their intros on cards just like I do, so I'm ready to fucking go when the interview starts or when they're about to introduce the thing so that the fans have an opportunity to get hyped up if they don't know who or care. This is one of the things that I found at events. Like when you go to a battle event and there's battles that are going on that you don't care about, man, this is your opportunity when people are in the room to get people to care about some of these guys. Prep a fucking intro. I'm begging you. I get you busy with a million other things. Get someone else to do it and hand you the card if you must. Anyways, look at how young little Neo is there. Look at him. Look how young he is. 100 quid bet as well. Nice. Confident. Confident. Shuffs up. Let's go. Versus Heretic. Handsome bastards, the pair of them, aren't they? Look at them, handsome bastards. Simple. A little bit of patronisation as we kick off. This can't be more than 4 years between the two of them. And look, this was Shuffle's key in those early years, man. Like, people knew about him and they respected him. But there was, if you want to see the evolution of what Shuffle was to what he is today, right? The Liquid Battle. I think we touched on this in our interview with him. We touched on the fact that in the Liquid Battle, he was so obsessed with getting through his lines as quickly as possible. That, like, he just never really settled. And he never really had that credibility with the fans because he was that guy trying to act and sound like he thought people wanted him to act and sound. And then you're starting to see this, which is when he's settled into his own style and he's a bit more settled in his own skin. And more importantly, he's settled in his perception by people. Like that line there, like looking in a minute, what urbanizes you. Like, he's playing off of the expectations of the fans. He's not steering into it. He's playing off it and kind of highlighting the absurdity of it to a certain degree because he's killing it right now. Like I say, even Heretic's got a crack a smile. It's funny, man. And that's the other thing. The crowd is really up for the comedy in this stuff. You can tell that the O'Shea stuff was well suited to it as well. Harry Robinson. Nice. just stop there as well, because the crazy thing about these guys is that I get the impression that they'd be best friends in real life, because their demeanor and outlook on certain things are so similar. Because you get the impression Shuff would be an environmentalist and someone that is generally quite keen on, you know, like being a decent person. And Heretic seems the same. Got some news on Heretic actually at some point in this live stream. We should probably drop. But anyways, point being that yeah, he's yeah, you just get the impression they'd be good mates. So yeah, the fact that he's about to take the piss out of him for being a vegan when he was one, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hang on. I just got to stop there. Right, vegetarians of the world, you got to explain that shit to me one day. Why the fuck do you eat shit that looks like shit you won't eat? If you're vegan, stick to, or vegetarian, stick to stuff that's vegetarian or vegan. Stop making stuff look and sound like other shit when you've decided you don't want to eat. Why do you want to eat a sausage when you know it's pork meat that's been minced and stuffed into skin? Like, you've made your bed, live in it. Anyways, it's a nice touch apparently. I wouldn't know. I have never tried being a vegetarian. I never fucking will. Shuffle dropping the C-bomb a lot in these battles as well. How comfortable he is. And he doesn't like that. This first round from Shuff is fantastic, man. Just completely wins the crowd from the jump, man. Went to veganism. Nice. Yeah, because this is the thing. It's not even a particularly intricate round, but these comedy bars are just hitting the crowd just one after the other after the other. Bam like that. Bagnall in the background as well. The entire Cowspiracy. So he's referenced that here. I don't know what it is. I'm imagining it's a documentary on the makings of cow products, like beef products and stuff like that. Never, ever, ever, ever gonna watch it, because here's the thing. I know if I watch stuff like that, it is gonna probably put me off eating meat, and I love eating meat too much. So yeah, God bless him for sitting through it. But see, packing through Chile and Papua New Guinea, and it's alright. It's alright. But at this point, the crowd's just with him, man. He can say anything. Shitty. I'm a city. Guinea. Assist. Happy. Yeah, you can see it's just a little bit played, but it's funny because Shuffle's giving it a little bit, you know what I mean? Interesting concept. Oh, it's Bobby in the back as well. Eating her out. Yeah. Be a giant cunt. Live and let live. See, another C-bomb, man. He's so liberal with the C-bomb in this one. So many F-bombs as well. Cunt. There's twice as much. So yeah, that's a weird one, like the pussy thing. How many people in the crowd these days adopted a lot of these lifestyle choices in retrospect? This was nearly 10 years ago, mind you, but how many of these guys right now do have a lot of these sort of new agey, newfangled? It's kind of weird, like how many of these guys this round would apply to these days in retrospect. Yeah. It was unnecessarily a hard attempt at a bar there. You'll see. Actually, let's just let it play. Okay, so there you go. So there's kind of a weird dismount to that round. So he had the crowd in the palm of his hand from the jump. Joke. It was quite a joke-heavy round, obviously, and the next round informs that because it's a very long concept round. But like, I don't know. That was a weird dismount for him. You know what I mean? It just seemed that seemed to really put cold water on the round. But hey, man, Shuffle's a master, so I'm not here to tell him what to do. But I just will say that it was a weird sort of, people thought that that was going to lead to something. And the joke was just a little bit, it just fell a little flat because I think people were expecting a step after that. But otherwise, there's the dismount. So it's back to Heretic now. And Heretic's got it all to do here. Because like I say, it's one of those ones where the crowd's already on Shuff's side. Yep. Yep, he did. Oreos. Yep. Fantastic for the win. I just pause it there. Can I just also point out, so I've mentioned this to Shuffle as well, and he said it to me, as I'm sure he said to it. Every time someone sends him someone ripping his fantastic pun bar stuff off, because it has been done a lot since, yeah, he dies a little inside because, like, he gets it by this point. He's never going to receive a royalty check for it, so just just tag it with Shuff, you know, just leave it there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just got to leave it. Anyways. Animate objects. Yes, it's true. It's true. They had Shuffle and Marlow on tap at the time. Streak. No humans, please. I think you'll see this for the rest of the battle, by the way, that Heretic's delivery isn't quite... There's something... I can't quite... You're going to have to help me on this one, because I don't know what's... Because it can't just be... Because some of his stuff is really clever and really funny, but for some reason it doesn't hit as hard as Shuff for some reason. I mean, I'm going to have to try and put my finger on it as we go. Ew. Person. And you got to give it to Heretic. He opens up by really attacking Shuffle's legitimacy as a singles battler, which is weird because in hindsight, right, I do remember as a fan feeling kind of weird about Shuffle going single. I know Marlow had his other stuff going on, but I just felt at the time like him and Marlow are imperious as a double, and I don't think we ever really got to see them hit their stride because their battles were so infrequent. And they haven't had a million 2-on-2s in the last sort of 5-10 years. I mean, I think it was a checkpoint against P Soldier and Matter, and they drop a line about you can see our next title match in 2022. And I gotta be honest, from what I remember, they weren't a million miles off that prediction in terms of how many times they performed between then and when they eventually performed. It's crazy, but like. This earlier version of Shuffle, yeah, he had battles against Unanimous, which everyone thought he was going to win, but then Unanimous pulled it back. He had battles against other guys who he was funny. I mean, 100 Bullets is another great example where he battled 100 Bullets, and his first round's great, but 100 Bullets just sort of wore him down over 3 rounds. There was a period in Shuffle's career where he'd had the persona locked in, but he hadn't perfected how to execute in the battle to win the 2 to necessarily walk away with the W. And in this battle, in fact, at the end, some of the judges' decision, this is quite questionable. But nevertheless, yeah, he had a losing streak at the beginning, man. He wasn't a singles threat. He was very entertaining. I guess he's kind of perceived like some of the guys are now, where they're very entertaining, very funny. But you put him up against one of the big plates, one of the vets, and you back the vet to win because you just think, well, you know, he just doesn't have enough in the tank. So it goes to show, like, Shuffle's an example of what can happen when they put the pieces together over a period of maybe 3 or 4 battles. So, yeah, fair play to Heretic for highlighting it, though, because, again, Shuffle's got the humour, but Heretic coming through with the facts, man. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, Heretic coming in strong with the facts, man. And his flow is really good. Mm. So, you know, I'm genuinely curious. How many guys in the crowd... How many guys in the crowd actually cared about Star Wars at this point? Because this is a crowd of... This is a niche crowd at this point, but it's growing. Largely counterculture-ish as well. That's the other thing you got to bear in mind about battle rap, is that they are, to a large extent, counterculture, albeit aware of the culture. A weak villain like Kylo Ren, it's a good line, but I think that, yeah, it was... I'm not sure. Again, it's good. It's good. Also, I'm going to apologize in advance. If any of the guys who are battling in this, I have a freeze frame on a bad moment. Yeah, this is a bad freeze frame, isn't it? Look at the state of that. But he's in the middle of his thing, so I'm sorry to pause him. But I just wanted to say, like, it's always a weird thing with battle rap fans, man. Catching these references in and out, it's hard work for him. Anyway, plays a weak villain like Kylo Ren. It's all right. I don't think anyone... I think everyone called him Neo, in fairness. Hmm. It's all right. It's all right. A lot more... That's the thing, man. He came at him hard with the facts. There's good flow. Lots of good delivery there. But I think what I've lent on here is that his... Like that pretty thing that... Dodge this. Like... I think it's because Heretic's theatricality delivery isn't on point here, whereas Shuffle's is very polished by this point. So when Shuffle sets the terms of the battle as being more comedic in nature, and the audience aren't quite reacting as hard as... And the other thing as well is, I think Heretic's flow makes it difficult for the audience to react, because when he's into it, it's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's hard for the audience to really get invested in reacting. So maybe that's why, you know, the audience was with him, but just wasn't in it. But then, like I say, Shuffle just comes and just takes up all the air in the room in this round. And this, so right, to preface, this is one of my favorite Shuffle T rounds of all time. This is fabulous stuff. I won't wait another minute for it. This is great. Yeah, it did. Yeah, facts. Probably true. Fair play to him. Not the strongest flip, but he just owns it. Just took it away. Just took it away from Heretic there. Yeah. Yeah. This was a debate the other day. Lunacy instigated it. And then me and Bobby and him were going back and forwards a little bit. I'm curious, battle rap fans, when you see certain guys, do you think don't flop? Like, is that what the first thing comes... Or do you think battle rapper, or do you think them? Whenever I see Shuffle T, I never think don't flop or prem. I think Shuffle T. When I see Bobby, I think Bobby. When I think Yunnan, I think Yunnan. When I see P, I think P Soldier. Like, it's weird. I don't really remember thinking don't flop back in the day. But apparently there's a contingent of people that only think don't flop. I'm curious about that. Let me know what you think. I'm like, do you still... does anyone still look at it through the prism of, you know, like, fandom in that sense? Or do you follow the guys? I'm curious. So anyways, don't flop. Do you know when the next Heretic battle is? Yeah, I can quote it verbatim. Shut up. Complete deconstruction here. Haven't seen a Live Winter battle yet. Need to get around to that. Need to get around to that at some point. I bet half the guys in the room don't get that reference either, in fairness. But they get the joke. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't narrow it down. This is... Oh, my days. Like, if you want to say Shuffle isn't hard, fine. But you can never criticize the guy's ability to weave a pattern of words together. That was so good. Just and it's so well put together. That exchange. And then, this is the genius of Shuffle, right? He's just won over the hardheads, the ones that are the purists, and they're like, yeah, battle has to be this way. So he's just won over that because of it's clean, it hits, it's clever, and then just completely just flips it from there. It's great. Garages instead of garages. Yeah, it's fair play. It is garages, by the way. And so is Spawn, a t-shirt for the ages. Pajamas as well, I believe. Shuffle patented the whole thing. Just went nuts with the marketing on this one. And look, as the first one to catch it. So in fairness to like, this is one of those times where because he's seen a million battles and he's heard it all before, and he's immediately got what Shuffle's doing, which is he's playing off of the absurdity of what he's doing to a certain degree. And this is one of those rare times where Shuffle knew that it might take a second to hit, and he lets it just go through the crowd. But fuck me, are you aware all of this is rhyming? Mwah! Fucking genius. Fucking man. Even Heretic is creasing at that point. Brilliant. By the way, can I also point out that kid there behind Shuffle's elbow and the kid behind him, right? Is that Ezra Miller? Like, I feel like that looks like Ezra Miller. Like, the Flash is in the audience for some reason. Although, this would have been pre-crimes, so it's probably not the worst thing in the world to point it out now. If someone could go back in time and, you know, just have a word with him and tell him to settle down, we'll save ourselves a bad Justice League trilogy, and indeed, a lot of felonies. But yeah, just how everyone caught that one afterwards. Absolutely great. Great. Also, I've got to ask this question of other battle rap fans, man. How many times do you got to explain to people in your sphere that battle rap it's like the Santa thing, where they go like, oh man, like, do you just do all that stuff on the fly? And they have to then explain, no, we write it and we practice it, we rehearse it and we perform it. And they get disappointed. Like, oh, it's not as impressive now because I thought you just restyle it all off the top. You gotta fuck me, man. Like, most of you motherfuckers can't remember a password when you log into... And I work in IT, I know. Most of you fuckers can't remember a 10-digit password for your PCs. You want to tell me you can remember 9 minutes of a performance like this that's all supposed to rhyme and synchronize with the rest of the performance, please? But anyways, great. And this is the come down now, because he's hit them with the high, and now he's got to bring it back. Yeah. See, at this point, I think, I don't know for sure, but I think Heretic knows that after this, he knows that that was one of those rounds that you probably don't recover from. And considering the reaction of the first round and how big the reactions were, and now how clever this round was, he probably is suspecting that the battle is... And he's got money on the line, man. He's got 100 quid on the line, bless him. It's a fair play for putting his money where his mouth is. But at this point, that's... Biting the cup just tells me, yeah, he's not confident about this at this point. He's still got 2 rounds to go. Shuffle T. Don't know how you can confuse those two either, in fairness. Regularly happening, yeah. I know that's stupid. I know that's a stupid bar. I love that. Sitting there just panicking, tense as a mannequin. There's something about the fact that he rattles it off almost liquid speed. This is one of those regressions to that liquid performance to a degree, because he gets that line out almost as quickly as he possibly can. So we've got a gentleman by the name of Robert Tonis. If I was there, I wouldn't like you either. No one likes me, buddy. No one likes me. I appreciate you joining us, though. But no one likes me. I have a nasty habit of just speaking my mind, which in battle rap doesn't always win you friends or fans, which is fine. I don't need either of them at this point. So, yeah. But, Robert, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for leaving a comment. You should probably point out, if you guys want to leave comments, because I'd love to, if anyone was in the room that day, I'd love to hear from people about what, because the room experience of battle rap events is so much different from when you watch it back on YouTube. Not only because, of course, the guys do sometimes edit the YouTube videos to be a bit more favorable, but secondly, obviously you're in a room, you've got to watch an event for an entire day, and you might have even had a few drinks, loosened up, chatted to some friends, it's a good environment. Conversely, like, fuck me, it might just be like the event I just went to where it's hot and it's long and the trip there took it out of you, and when you get there you don't know anyone, so you're a bit nervous and apprehensive. It's always a weird thing hearing what people think, especially when you look at the judging at the end. There are some people that give some weird decisions, but I mean, they've got their own reasons for sure, but like, yeah, I'd love to hear from people who were in the room on some of these battles, to be honest with you, because I think it's an interesting perspective to hear what it was like hearing it live and then seeing it again. Did it change your opinion? Did it reinforce it? Let's see. But anyways, as far as lines go, so dumb, so silly, standing there panicking, tense as a mannequin. But I love it. Shuffle's acting chops coming in here. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sick. And now playing off the absurdity of it, bringing it back. Just, yeah, it's great. Yeah. Always tip. So again, this is just me. Not sure that was the strongest dismount. I get he's playing off the absurdity of the fact that he's having a conversation with a guy in a cafe who was rhyming at him, and now they've kind of dismounted from the rhyming bit. But yeah, interesting. Like I say, he both rounds he kind of peaked in the middle and then came back down, whereas most guys want to build to a crescendo of sorts. You know what I mean? So interesting strategy by Shuffle to kind of get them into the round. Maybe it's part of that. Maybe that's why he kind of absorbs everyone's attention through the middle round, decompresses everything, so that when Heretic gets the crowd, they're a bit sort of worn out from the reactions. I don't know. But anyways, that is a classic second round. Oh, hang on. Let's pause it for a second. Hang on. Is that true? Can you not hear anything? Oh, mates. Sorry, Robert. My apologies. You're quite right. The desktop audio is really low. Let's try that. Let's try that. You're going to have to let me know. Is that better? I thought I'd fiddled with it because this is a problem. I don't have an opportunity to hear what you're hearing. It's one of those situations where I've got my mic feeding into my ears, and the desktop audio is the desktop audio for me, but the setup on the OBS is slightly different. So, Robert, appreciate the shout on that. Oh, man. So, what's that? That's like 30 minutes of you guys just listening to me rant. Yeesh. Anyways, hopefully you'll hear it now, which is probably best. Because, look, if you haven't seen this, again, I would implore you, go and watch the original battle. It's in the description of this video, and you can search for it if you find Shuffle T versus Heretic. It's actually super easy battle to find. So, anyways, never mind. The desktop audio should be fixed now so you can hear a little more clearly when you tune into this. Let's see what Heretic has to say for a second.
I wouldn't do any more of those bad bar breakdowns, because they're getting kind of played out. Oh, wait, I don't care. Remember when you battled RS? And you said he likes to bathe his face in anal toys and take facial groin from his mates Abe, Jake, and Roy until their tasty waste deploys.
Yes, he did.
Well, Shuffle T's the fucking chief of the butt police. He likes...
Decent opening there.
Green and crumbled leaves underneath jungle trees. Bruv, did you learn this stuff from Eek? You're so...
Let's just pause it for a second. So, Robert. Yeah, now, but this is going on the channel to be in perpetuity. Yeah, do you know what? I feel like I can't I? Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you what, Robert, you can stay for now. Only two popple. If you're gonna troll, spell correctly. And secondly, yeah, I feel like have I had any interaction with Robert before? I don't know. You'll have to tell me. But anyways, point being is, and I've only got one. I think it's just you in the chat. So, yeah. If anyone else watches this after the fact, regardless of the fact that Robert's, for some reason, having a go, I want to apologise for the mixing earlier. Again, this is an ongoing endeavour. So apologies for the mixing issues on this one. Again, I'll try and get ahead of it the next time. Again, OBS and live streaming, it's all new to me. But we need to move with the times. Anyways, he's quoting Shuffle's lines back to him. And again, the reaction's just, again, for some reason, it's just not... It's simmering, but it's still not quite as hard as Shuffle's for some reason, even though I really like it. I like the delivery, and I like the progression of the bar so far.
You're so obsessed with stretched out multi-schemes that you recently set up your website and called it the Shuffle Tea Company.
Yeah.
And one of the services you sell is rap consultancy.
Yeah. Yep.
Ghostwriting. Basically, you sell ghostwriting on your website. You know that's generally considered bad. In fact,
Which is crazy because I didn't realise that. When I was, like, I kind of didn't see a problem with it, but in the scene, at least, yeah, the idea of being a ghostwriter is, like, really shat on. Like, which is crazy to me because, like, ultimately, the guy's got to memorize and perform it, right? So when these guys contribute to lines for each other, right, it's more the performance element. Like, when I put a poll up on Twitter and I said, right, so what is the most important thing about a battle rapper in your eyes in terms of how they present and how they come across? It was performance. It wasn't originality. It wasn't like hard bars or anything like that. It was how do they come across on the night? And to be honest, dude, that's got nothing to do with the person's individual attempts at performance. It's just how they execute. So it's crazy that in the scene, at least, what the fans want is different from what the guys are trying to deliver, which is sort of the quintessential essence of one performer being expressed versus what the crowd want, which is just a good performance. So anyways, but he's highlighting it here as kind of outing him as sort of being, you know, like, you're selling bars to other people, which from what I understand, the battlers all do all the time anyway.
that should be the ultimate truth we believe in, not openly promoting it as a service just because you need something to do in the evenings. I mean, why did you do it? Is it so your money can stack high? Or just so all the bars you wrote about how you clap nines but couldn't get away with trying to rap live can finally see the light of day living vicariously through some black guys? You even have a different writing partner now. Doesn't that turn of events upset you? I thought you and Marlo were friends forever. Penn and Teller. Every second spent together. Now it's just, well, Marlo's not around since he and that girl swore an oath together. I've just moved back in with my mum in this ropey cellar. He's off with a beautiful woman and coping better. And I'm sat here writing bars for every fucking battle on Don't Flop Extra.
And this is what's crazy about this battle for me. Heretic is fucking performing himself into a fucking hole trying to get this crowd on side, right? With some really clever, really insightfully harsh stuff. And yet the crowd's sleeping on it for some, like, there's a chuckle at the end, but like, I don't know, man. Like I say, I think Heretic's giving as good as he's getting so far. I really do.
Listen, aspiring tryouts. Do not fear that hope's died. You don't need to spend years making sure your flow's tight, hoping someone hears your dope rhymes. Just pay this bellend to write you a long list of multis for why did you give me him, and you'll be top tier in no time.
That's, yeah, true, because most Don't Flop battles start with that.
You know, if his complexion differed and instead of writing for the best of spitters, he wrote for try-hard morons who PG step through filler. I mean, where the fuck is your integrity? You even use your class as a gimmick. That's what you get a cheap laugh for. Talking about pissing off your butler. I'm wondering what you put that in your bars for. See, that Jack Whitehall swag is the reason you'll never be my teacher in this art form. Because you must have had a bad education to be engaging in class wars.
Someone caught that a bit early there, but that's fine. God, it's still weird seeing Briggsy in a Don't Flop hoodie.
And I hope you're glad you've managed to reap what you've sown, because by bragging about having money, you just sold out your compassion for people that don't. By disguising an Oreo advert as a rap battle, you sold out your honesty to the fans that you're deceiving for dough, and by advertising as a ghostwriter, you sold out this battle scene as a whole. That's time.
It was good. Again, you can't criticize it. It was great. But the fans were just, for some reason, not buying it. One reason. There you go. And people respect him. Yeah.
So, you know when your Wi-Fi's on?
Yeah.
And your iPhone says that it's connected it.
Yeah.
So you go to open up the web to flick
So it's
through
interesting in this round. So Shuffle's already had one concept, and yet this one it's not quite a concept in the sense that he goes on this, you know, this sort of. It has a payoff, but I think it's one of those ones where he's thought a little bit too much about it, if that makes sense. The delivery and the punch overall isn't. Yeah, it's not quite there. Rake has joined us. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. So Heretic has 0 self-awareness. His overperforming comes off too beggy and very much like theatric for a uni assignment. So this is the thing. I wouldn't phrase it that way, and I see where you're coming from. I think, like I say, his problem is he's going up against Shuffle T, and Shuffle T has his performing style down pat. He's kind of gotten away from. So okay, in the same way that Shuffle T has really calmed in this battle, like really honed it in, really tempered his over exuberance, Heretic is very much. I tell you what, I don't know if being in the pit doesn't make this battle different than if it would have been on stage, because I think if it had been on stage, Shuffle T might have had to match that energy of Heretic a little bit, whereas in the pit, and a lot of this movement is wasted because a lot of the guys just simply can't see you doing a lot of this stuff, and it is down to your delivery. And Heretic's delivery is just a little bit subdued. And yeah, there's a forced nature to it, I guess. But that's, I think, because he's trying to give the delivery a little bit more pizzazz. And sort of, I think he even references it in this round shuffle where he's like, just stand there, just stand still. The fact that he's picked up on that, it says something. It really does. So, yeah, I do see where you're coming from there. And, yeah, there's something that doesn't quite come across as genuine, maybe. But certainly, like I say, the theatricality doesn't, for me, undermine his bars are great, man. Like I say, but this was Shuffle's day, man. He was just on it.
List, but it doesn't
But anyway,
work.
checking it.
Pressing click, and it just doesn't accept the link.
Yeah.
Stop receiving messages because it says there's a 7.6 error with the pathway that's sending it. It's coming up as negative.
It's going
So
quite. It's clever, but.
In, the connection dips, but you just about
Oh,
hit
whoa!
the you're gonna need a specialist to get it fixed.
So hang on, we got to pause it right here because we got what I asked for. So Rake he's in the room. You're gonna have to tell me where you are. Are you on the left? You on the right? You in the middle? Where were you? Or are you behind the cameras? So, quote, pardon me. I was in the room for this in Sheffield, and Heretic came across super forced and unlikable. Is that just because of the overall demeanor, or was that just in the room on the day? Or rather, let me ask you: how does it compare being in the room versus watching the battle back? Let me know what you think, because again, I can attest to this. Sometimes being in the room, like, it can enhance it. Sometimes it can diminish it. I'm curious, but anyways, this Shuffle T early scheme, for me at least, this is one of the weaker points of the battle from Shuffle's perspective. Is he just drags a little bit, even though the punch is good. It's just...
That's going to cost you 20 quid, and they don't have anyone free until fucking December.
I think the other reason why this takes a while is because look at how young a lot of the people in the audience are. Most of these fuckers are still in university, so when you're saying, like, oh yeah, make an appointment for a guy to come and fix your internet, none of these fuckers have made that call. Whereas Shuffle T, he's, I think, 27 in this battle. Like, he's probably lived by himself. So again, it's that difference of world experience that doesn't quite translate, I think.
The one day your appointment with the dentist is
that
is it best of fifth of how frustrating Heretic stage presence is.
Well, actually, I suppose this is what Rake is saying. So yeah, the stage presence, this is where he starts going off on, like, so he's the first 2 rounds he's attacked his character. He's attacked the character of the vegan, overly sympathetic, feminist, world-hugging persona of a Heretic, right? This one, he goes after his battling style, which, hey, give it to Shuff. It's clever.
You fucking poke and jab your rope and hand. I'll be throwing out my lower back. You don't just rap, you overact. Animated delivery, postman pat.
So now that one was good. That's great. Okay, let's go.
In your next verse, just go like that.
Just go like that. Yeah.
Keep him there. Right? You fucking bastardise mine and Marlo's style. The way you copy us is so fucked.
And I think what's great about when a guy does that to an opponent is that when the opponent has to then think about it, like, do I now have to amend how I perform to make sure I'm not steering into what he's saying? Or do I do it anyway and hope that the crowd have kind of moved past it, maybe? Again, it'd be interesting to hear from a battler's perspective in the moment where they go, like, they've called you out for something, everyone laughs because they all agree it's dumb or it doesn't make sense, and then you do it anyway? Or do you steer away from it and hope that they don't notice you've steered away from it? It's interesting.
It's more wrong than those people who always say Shotty wasn't going to show up.
Yeah, he's always there.
Punctual, he's always there, look.
The thing with that, but so just a quick one on the Shotty thing, right? So the catchphrase, some said I wasn't going to show up, right? I understand from him, an interview that he gave, that was only a throwaway line. That wasn't ever meant to be a catchphrase. It was something that he dreamt up. What's funny about that is that, like, some said I wasn't going to show up. That's not a conversation anymore in terms of him, but it's always a conversation about his opponent. Isn't that funny how time has kind of proven that odd little catchphrase right, in the sense of, is a Shotty battle going to take place? Because if the opponent falls out, you know Shotty's not taking someone on short notice, and you know they're not rescheduling the event because they've built an event to accommodate Shotty. So yeah, isn't that funny? Again, it was weird going back in time with some of these battles, how things kind of evolve and flower over a period of time. So anyways, he's always there. Like, some said Shotty wasn't going to, but he's always there live. He's always there when he says he's.
The approach with some other themes mixed, boiled it down to the double helix, like I'm gonna take exactly what shuffle T is with extra poshness. Yeah, that's what it fucking needed.
Bit of Jimmy Carr in there.
I mean,
lovely.
Light work steal all my shit. Danny jacked my style with the compliments clip. How not to try it with
Did he?
bars if it wasn't as shit.
I don't know what that is in reference to. Did Danny Jack do a compliments clip, bar, round, something like that? I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Don't Flop were very experimental in their day, and again, that's where the Fanta and Stick battle come from. The April Fool stuff, the mirror matches against the iPad, stuff like that. And I really like them for that. I love the fact that they were able to, because look, if they hadn't been a little bit more liberal with the April Fool's format, you would have never gotten the compliments battle from Shuff and Marlowe. You wouldn't ever have gotten the bad bars from Shuffle and Marlowe. Like, it really opened the door for a lot of guys who didn't have the ability to be able to compete with a Shotty or a Luna, or guys on that sort of, I'm going to destroy you so that you can't fucking walk the streets without people mocking you. And instead got guys who had that comedic timing and that creativity in to be able to just flex their love of language, which is what Shuffle T ultimately is. He's just a lover of language, man. But anyways.
I mean, fucking Heretic ticks the boxes of copying this. What's next? You're going to start doing comedy clips? Fucking newcomer of the year. I wasn't convinced. That was Callum from the forum. He just robbed it from him. You think it beat Craft?
I don't know who that is.
Probably did. I stopped watching it
because it was shit. Simple but effective. Just, again, hits the crowd. Hits the crowd.
Sure, you're looking good in terms of wins and losses, but
oh, little stumble.
Sure you're doing well in terms of wins and losses, but you took my style and you're living off it. Steve Carell to the British office. Chicken cottage.
Oh, that's the other thing. So if you don't know, if you've not followed, don't follow. They have a fucking fetish. I'm just gonna call it out for what it is. It's a fucking fetish for The Office, man. I get it. It's a funny show, but as far as Ricky Gervais' stuff goes, man, I've always preferred his podcast with Carl Pilkington. I've always thought that was way funnier. Like, The Office is funny. Don't get me wrong, but like in terms of British comedy, The Office doesn't crack my top 5, maybe not even my top 10 in terms of what I'm recommending to people as a comedy. But Don't Flop, specifically because of course the influences there with Shuff, they have a fucking fetish for fucking they have a fetish for the British Office. So yeah, fair play. They like that line.
Image cropped it, clicked and dropped it, switched and swapped it, flipped and flopped it, picked my pocket, pinched my wallet, lifted from it, pinched the pocket. This isn't what it's meant to be. This is just a mirrored homage. Stop copying me, you motherfucking silly sausage.
I'm not sure that whole line doesn't land if he doesn't then flip it at the end. Again, that's Shuffle T utilizing a real dynamic comedy outlook on what he's doing and being aware of his own perception. He's so clever as that Shuffle T. He's so clever.
You won't win. You You've got more chance of winning a BAFTA, because when it comes to mimicking battlers, you're a brilliant actor, should be enlisted in Lambda. Try telling me that this guy isn't a wanker, or that he's managed even a singular original stanza. If you thought this battle was my finishing chapter, you better check yourself like testicular cancer. See, that's all I need. As soon as you and I crossed, I knew that I'd got someone new to write off. I've had a couple battles lately, there's a few that I've lost, so you're a do-or-die job like the Suicide Squad. So that's it.
That's it.
No more computer games. No more toys in your room. No more of those rejuvenation facial oils you use. No more Goya seeds. No for fucking soya for food. Me and your mother are
Very disappointed in you. Not sure where that came from, but it's, you know, talking down to him again, patronising. It's cute.
To finish this, someone else I need to address.
Marlo, you little bitch.
You snaked me at the last event, so you aren't my friend. Joking, Barup's gay, I don't give a shit.
Isn't that funny, a sentiment a lot of guys get at some point mirror? Anyways, so yeah, that's in reference to Unanimous, of all people, utilising Marlo as the end of a scheme about Shuffle being at Marlo's wedding and being drunk and being belligerent at the fact that they're not going to be able to rhyme together. Like, Shuffle tells me, I would bloody love her, Shuffle, so just leave it. And Marlo sells the snake, and Shuffle gives him the business there. And it's a great bit. You could tell, though, Unanimous he almost telegraphed it, because he not stumbles, but he's almost laughing at his own joke before it's been delivered. So if you watch that one back, you can see that one coming from a mile away. Again, another weird dismount from Shuffle here, though. Again, Shuffle at this point in time, not quite sticking the landing to the rounds for me, but, man, solid 3 rounds. And a lot of people had him 3-0 in it. It's Heretic's final round, so let's go.
Final round, Heretic, let's go, bro. So you work in telesales for a
Which I thought this was his strongest round, by the way.
You like to come up with funny things just casually on the spot. So imagine, if you will, Shuffle T's first day at work just after he got the job. Right, Adam, here's your team's final script.
And I think, by the way, this is why Heretic lost this, because he kind of tried to go blow for blow with Shuffle.
I'm rewriting it. Shift starts in 5 minutes. There's no real time for this. Fine. I'm gonna freestyle this shit.
Shuffle loves this round, you can tell.
Adam, sales rep MC, hope you've had a blessed week. Press 1 to hear me talk like a tech.
See that?
Tend to be friendly and
See, I think this is great. I think it's really funny. Like, I hope you've had a blessed week, because he's trying to force it and sculpt it. Like, no offense to I love Shuffle to death, but Shuffle is that guy that tries to find rhymes everywhere he looks. And Heretic's calling it out, and everyone's sleeping on it.
Sell these bits of software to you, even though you're elderly and.
See, like, that's why Shuffle loves it more than everybody else.
Sorry, bit of a reach, that one, very unprofessional. Press 2 to hear my impression of Nestle. You just press that. Or to simply listen to the sound of all my hopes of comedic success leave due to growing awareness that my wet dream of being in a comedy sketch team becomes less and less realistic with every second this terrible job won't allow me to be set free.
Press 3.
Press 3.
See, look, that's basically what Shuffle did in the last one, but again, just Raquez is right. There's something about the execution that just isn't quite right. It just doesn't quite sit. Even though I think that's great. I think it's a great concept.
I think it's sad the fates have conspired to give you a destiny so boring. No comedy, no entertainment, just ringing up folks talking. You're running out of time to chase those dreams, Adam. You can really do no stalling, because there's a deadline and your skills are cold calling. It's so haunting, but wait. A failed performer
Briggsy caught that one.
takes a dead office job just to stop the dole calling. Shit, I know David Brent inspires with comedy. You weren't supposed to live out his whole story, because you went from
That was
I'm
great.
a comedian and a writer, and I sometimes do battles because of my way with words, to I'm a telesales exec,
Yeah.
do some accounts management, probably an entertainer third.
See, Shuffle loves it the most. Everyone else is just sleeping on it.
I mean, you're in character all the time. In real life, you could be the nicest of blokes, but I just don't know. I mean, you post funny things online and it's dope, but they're just lines that you wrote for this Brent Bitten character that you assigned to the quote, and it's exactly the same every time you upload. Hoping some teenagers are gonna like what you wrote, sat in silence alone, trying to go viral with posts. Of course you're naturally funny, because your life is a joke. But calling him David,
Yeesh. That was.
calling him David Brent is the most obvious shuffle angle. Even posted on Facebook like, yeah, I get that a lot, as if it's such a hassle. Well, if you don't want people bringing up the fact you act exactly like David Brent in a fucking battle, then don't act exactly like David Brent in a fucking battle.
And that's great. That was a great dismount, but no one caught it. Oh God. Oh man, Shuffle did that against someone. So if you oh fuck, I'm gonna forget who he did against. That. Oh man, that was funny. But this is the thing. I will just play this, just because you'll see. The judging, actually, I really like how they filmed this at the end. So they got all the judges and then cut from one to the other, to the other, to the other. And the judges will have it 2-1, some of them. But everyone else seems to think it was a 3-0. Yep.
To stretch a 6-syllable scheme like that and have it relevant was just incredible. So I think, although Heretic's third was absolutely brilliant, best breakdown I've seen off Shuffle, I'm going to give it to Shuffle too.
So isn't it funny how the fans are, look, I get it, politics, and I get being there in the event, you want to try and give a little something to the loser, but it's crazy to me how the fans will always be the ones to go 3-0 this guy, 3-0 this guy, and yet the battlers, it's so rare to hear a 3-0 unless it's chokes. If it's chokes, then you give the round to the guy guilt-free. But yeah, a lot of these guys have Heretic picking up at least one round. Fans, though, for some reason think it's a 3-0. I'm torn because, again, it's that classic question of, does reaction equate to quality of like, how much is a crowd's reaction linked to how good a performance was? Because then you've got, like, the lunacies of this world who are, you know, they get reactions for saying your mum. The crowd goes mental. Right, does that mean he automatically wins for saying your mum? Versus, I mean, Rake said this in this stream where he's like, the overall persona of Heretic throughout the course of the battle was that he was generally unlikable. But like, yeah, but like, listen to his rounds, man. Like, I feel like at some points there is a kind of a balance to be struck between the fans and the battlers. And the fans have to be either amenable to the fact that the battlers do have to contend with being original and trying to come up with good ideas versus doing stuff that the crowd is going to predict and going to react to that they know. Because the problem is, if you just judge battlers based on what they do now and react to only stuff you get, I don't know, man. But anyways, my point is that it's funny to just hear all of the battlers go backwards and forwards about it being 2-1, and then but there's a lot of people that will only remember Shuffle stuff, even though I love Heretic's performance in this. I thought he did a good job. But yeah, this cut is good. Tony's here. Tony D, everyone's uncle.
The multi thing, the second round was disgusting, but I don't really like it.
That's great. I love how Tony's like, I don't like the multi thing, but it was great. So that's Tony D in a nutshell for you. There you go. Cut back again.
Locksmith, Tony Smith coming soon, taking out now. Shit, that was a crazy battle. I think the first round,
I've watched this battle back a couple of times, and every time I want to brush that whatever's on his lip off his lip for him. Bugs me.
Judge it to Shuffle T on the first, based on he just come out of a cleaner performance. Second, definitely give that to Heretic, because I think.
See, now that's a weird call to me. Definitely Heretic on the second round. So you're talking about one of the seminal don't flop rounds, and probably one of the seminal shuffle rounds ever. And it birthed this whole, again, a lot of these mobile phone schemes and the HR stuff and all the rest of that sort of stuff. And he has it going to Heretic for some. And again, with all due respect to Heretic, I love him. I love this performance. Quote me something from that second round. Whereas that second round from Shuff, you know about the coffee shop, you know about this. So yeah, it's an odd judging choice, but fair enough.
Spent too much time on one angle. It was funny and well executed, but
it was.
I think Heretic took that one, and then in the third,
no examples there.
And obviously with Heretic, I think he used too much of his time doing what I think Shuffle done.
Yeah,
in the third, and
that's fair. That's fair. So Heretic was doing too much of what Shuffle was doing anyway. So, and Shuffle does it better. There you go. And there it is. Oh, and there's Villain as well. He performed against my verse on this card as well, I think. There you go. Anyways, I don't need to see the rest. That's fine. So there you go. Shuffle T versus Heretic. That was a trip to watch that back. Like I say, man, I think I think Sheffield this is one of those battles that solidified his legacy as being just one of the great comedic battlers of our time, and really helped solidify his singles push as well, this battle. So fair play to Sheffield for persevering through 100 Bullets and Yunnan and a lot of really tough performances and people questioning why he's even trying and not just going back to Marlowe or just sitting as a side. Man, he loves battling, man. He loves battle rap. So fair play to him. And Heretic, again, I think it's a slept-on performance. I think the crowd in the room on the day, they didn't give him his props, and watching it back, you can see he actually had some really clever stuff. And yeah, there's some execution issues, but otherwise, man, what a fucking battle. So there you go. That was Sheffield T versus Heretic. I want to apologise because even though Robert Tonus, whoever the devil you are, pointed out that the first half you couldn't hear it, so that's a mixing issue on my part. I'll try and use the preview setting on the next live stream that I do to test that a little bit more so I can be reasonably sure that you can hear what you need to hear going forward. I hope it was a bit smoother though. I haven't had any notifications to say that the feed has dropped or that there's been any issues. I'm also looking, finally, at upgrading this stupid ass camera. I don't know if you can see right here, there's a split. And I thought it was just glare, and it isn't. It's a problem with the camera. So I'm going to fix that by replacing the fucking thing before July and when we start gearing up for the interviews again. So hopefully that doesn't distract you as much. It distracts me. It bugs me a lot, the fact that there's a streak in the middle of it. It's a brand new fucking camera as well. Relatively new, anyway. But anyways, so that'll be that. The news about Heretic, by the way, is that I was DMing, again, like I said, everyone yesterday, making sure I had, carte blanche to be able to do what I wanted to do in terms of a reaction video. And I happened to, as is my wont, say, hey, while I've got you, how would you like to come on the show? Could I maybe talk you into coming and sitting for an interview where we talk about your battle rap career and your music? Because he's now a pretty prolific musician. And he said he'd be down. So there you go. So we've got a fucking absolute veritable smorgasbord of battlers and musicians and all sorts to pick from next month, and I'm looking forward to it now. I kind of can't wait. Still going to take the month off though, so where are we? The 9th of June now. We still got probably about 3 weeks before I'm going to start interviewing people again, so please bear with me on that. That's why these live streams and these reactions are kind of going to supplement those for the meantime, just so I've got stuff to keep the channel ticking over and keep in the space, keep in the sphere. So I hope you don't mind those. Robert's not a fan, it seems, so it's not for everybody. Don't watch it. It's not a problem to me. If you do watch it, though, oh, I love you. Would you like to get married? I would love it if we could. That would be lovely. But anyways, I think that'll about do it because I don't really have anything else on my mind today that I want to link into this. Other than, again, I will try my best to get clearance from Don't Flop and any future ones anyway, despite the fact that no one came back to me. I messaged as many people as I fucking could and no one came back to me. Prem have said that they're cool with it, so there'll be a few more battles on the reaction side from their side. I'd love to hear what your suggestions are. Are there any battles that you want to watch along with and react to in real time? Again, if you were there, I'd love to hear what your stories are and your anecdotes from the event are. Any prevailing memories, any interactions you have with the battlers, or any just, again, weird stuff that happened at the event. I'd love to hear that. So leave me your suggestions in the comment section of this video and any other videos that you see with the reactions. I get them all, so I'll see them all wherever they are. Go check out some of my other interviews if you still haven't. I'd really appreciate that. It'd be lovely to bump up the numbers on those. So again, it makes it easier for me to present to the guys to say, listen, come on my show, let me talk to you, so that the platform is nice and big and gives them a good opportunity and all that good jazz. But before you do any of that, I hope you're taking care of yourself. It's a lovely Sunday-ish for now. It might change. I'm going to log off now, and I'm going to go have a bowl of cereal because it's that kind of day. I'm going to find me some cartoons to watch now that I've watched something good. Thank you for joining me if you did tune into the live stream. Robert, even though, again, I won't count you as a fan, I appreciate you tuning in and also for giving me the heads up on the desktop audio. Again, apologies to everyone who had to sit through the first sort of 20 minutes, half an hour of the audio not quite being up to standard. Albeit from copyright perspective purposes, it's probably for the best that it was that, because again, I'm trying not to copyright infringe. I'm trying not to compete with the original content as much as I can. Rake, I appreciate not only you being here, but offering some insight. That's cool. I really appreciate that. That's really, really nice of you. Anyone that sees this after the fact, thank you very much for giving it a shot and tuning in. But yeah, that'll about do it. So this has been this edition of the Halcyon Show Watch Along. My name's been Lorne Risley, host of the show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Go check me out on Twitter. Go follow me on social medias and stuff. Go and watch the original battle. The link is in the description. Go and subscribe to Don't Flop and go and follow Don't Flop. Go subscribe to Sheffield T. Go follow Sheffield T. Go subscribe to Harry J. Rob on Twitter. and Harry J. Robinson on YouTube, aka Heretic, and support him there. And yeah, I hope to see you on the next one. The next one's going to be Shotty Horror versus Arsenal. I have seen that battle a few times, but it's not fresh in my memory, so I'm looking forward to that one, although I do have some memories about it from watching it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what I remember, what I like. Looking forward to hearing from anyone that was there. And yeah, Arsenal already quote tweeted me saying this was the best battle ever. I don't know if it was the best battle ever, but it was certainly one of those showcases of US versus UK that really shone a light on both scenes. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm not sure when I'll schedule that for yet, but we'll see. In the meantime, though, once again, thank you for joining me. I sincerely hope you're taking care of yourselves. And I'll see you on the next episode of The Halcyon Show.